Okay. Am I audible now? Or is it still breaking?
Seems good, G.
It's breaking?
For me, it seems good now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's begin today's session. Yeah, so back and neck straight, just gently close the eyes. And start observing your breath. Just observe the natural flow of the breath as you inhale and as you exhale. And check your alignment. Chin is parallel to the ground, back and neck straight. And the entire body should be relaxed. And when you feel ready, just begin to deepen your breath. Going for slow, low and deep inhalation. Then taking a pause for 2 seconds in Hanta Kumbha. And then going for exhalation. Slow, long and deep exhalation. Relax the mind completely. We'll be chanting Om 3 times, followed by Shanti. Exhale completely. And then inhale for Om. Let's go for 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just feel the vibrations Join both the palms together in front of the chest and rub both the palms together. Place them on the eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palms. Open up the eyes. Come back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. Can you just once again confirm that you guys can hear me?
Yes, namaste.
Okay. Is it breaking or is it like okay
It's fine. It's
overall?
fine right now.
Okay, great. Okay. So let's begin today's session. Yeah. So today our topic of discussion is Hatha Yoga. Let me write it down in the chat box for you. Oh, gee. You guys have audition of Hatha Yoga. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I was saying the physical part of yoga, the asana, pranayama part, mudras, bandhs, all of these things are like part of Hatha Yoga. And right now, in the modern times, there is a lot of modification that has been done. So the Ashtang Vinyas style, the Vinyas flow that you guys practice, they're all part of Hatha Yoga, but they are variations of Hatha Yoga. So as modern gurus came in and they saw that now, depending on the climate, the area, in pranayama class also, once I touched upon this thing, like in cold countries, Ashtang Vinyas and Vinyas flow is very famous, and it is so because for your climate, you need more uh, flow kind of asana practice and a little bit advanced extreme practice because sweating, like the main thing is that you have to release toxins from the body. So that happens when you practice go for these intense styles of yoga. And Indian climate also, you can practice these forms. However, it's not necessary for the Indian climate. Yeah, because we over here summers are pretty intense and we sweat very easily. So for us, like the temperature is such that we can go for the practice of the traditional Hatha Yoga also. That will also work well for us. So now we need to understand why we're practicing Hatha Yoga. So when there's this ancient text Hatha Yoga Pradipika, I've mentioned it before also. So this text, uh, when the author opens the text, he says that Hatha Yoga should always be practiced keeping in mind the aim of Raj Yoga. So Hatha Yoga will prepare your body for the practice of meditation, for the stability in the body, in the breath, so that you can sit for longer periods of meditation and work with the mind. Okay, so main aim of Hatha Yoga is to develop yourself for the practice of Raj Yoga. If you just stop in the asana, pranayama practice, then of course your body will develop, your mind will develop, no doubt about that. You're going to get a lot of benefits even if you just go for the practice of Hatha Yoga. But when you're going so deeply in the practice, then your aim should always be very clear. And the aim that we are seeking when we are practicing Hatha Yoga is liberation from all our sufferings, not just physical or mental suffering that we go through, or just the emotional suffering. There is so much more suffering. And when we practice yoga, we want to reach a state where we are free. It's a path to freedom. So where we are free from everything we are dependent upon, everything that makes us suffer. Yeah. So we have to reach that point. So it's good to practice Hatha Yoga, but the aim should be very clear. One should not stop just at Hatha Yoga. They should go ahead, go into deeper practice where, you know, work on the mind is given more emphasis after a while. Once the stability in body, breath, overall energy is attained, that is when you need to, go to the advanced level and not just stay stuck in the practice of, you know, asana, pranayama, all of these things that you guys generally practice. Right now, main practices of that, and then you have meditation classes. So when you go for asana, pranayama practice, then the aim in your mind should be that, okay, my meditation class should go good. Yes. So this is how you should practice when you are practicing every day also. Your main focus should be that my meditation class goes okay. I'm able to attend it attentively. I'm able to understand what is being, taught to me over there and how I can implement that. Okay. So the term Hatha Yoga can be broken down into two, can be broken down, the word Hat can be broken down into two words. Ha, which means, I'll write down the meaning also. Antha. Yeah. So why are we going for this practice? Because it helps us to attain balance between her and tha. Let me tell you what her and tha means. Her means the pranic energy. It's the right side. Okay. So right nostril is represented by the her part. Then it's also called the Pingla Nadi. Yeah, so it's the pranic energy, it's the right side. The Pingla Nadi. I told you about the three main nadis in the body, the Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna Nadi. So it represents the Pingla Nadi and sun. It represents the sun aspect of the body where we are very energetic, where we are able to do all the activities and the body is overall active. Then Tha represents the mental energy. The left side, Ida Nadi. It also represents the moon aspect of the body. body. Yeah? So Pingla and Ida is our left side, the mental energy of the body, the relaxative state. When we go into a relaxative state, that is the portion which is powered by Hatha. So Hatha overall means that we are balancing the Ida and Pingla Nadi and Aichtumna Nadi. So when Ida and Pingla Nadis both get balanced, then there is a point where the Sushumna Nadi is activated, and that is the most important part for a spiritual aspirant. Okay? Because when a spiritual aspirant wants to go ahead in their journey, the flow of the energy goes through the Sushumna Nadi. That is when I can say, in a common man's way of understanding, that is when spiritual growth takes place, when the energy goes through the Sushumna Nadi. And while Ida and Pingla are working, Sushumna cannot work. Okay, so either the energy will flow through the Ida Nadi or it will flow through the Pingla Nadi. And when this happens, that is when the Sushumna Nadi cannot be activated. So in pranayam class also, I told you guys that there is a brief moment, a few seconds during the day when uh, the nostril switches, and when the switching is taking place, the energy flows through the Sushumna Nadi. So the yogi works on increasing this period, okay, when the energy is flowing through the Sushumna Nadi. But it's only when the interchange is taking place that the Sushumna Nadi is activated, and after that, again, the energy starts flowing through either Ida or Pingla, wherever it's changing, in which from one Nadi to the other, the way in which it is switching, it goes to that Nadi. Okay. So let me diagrammatically also represent this once for you. Then I will, if you have any doubts, I will take doubts from you. Okay. So can you guys see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Is it visible to you guys?
Yes, I can see it.
So I'm not making the entire diagram. I'm just trying to tell you what is happening. So I won't be making the entire diagram. Must have seen this symbol before also. Wait, sorry. Okay, so excuse my drawing, but the Sushumna Nadi is said to be along the spine. So this middle, like this is Sushumna Nadi for you. I will represent it by SN. Yeah. This is the Sushumna Nadi. Yeah. And right side, to me, this is the right side. So wherever your right side is, this is the Pingla Nadi. And this is the Ida Nadi. Yeah, it's N. And this junction point where Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna meet, this is called a chakra. You must have heard of the 7 major chakras, which are generally represented along your spine. So there are many chakras in the body actually. However, when we talk of chakras, we generally hear about the 7 major chakras. So the 7 major, why are they the major chakras? Because they are formed by the 3 major nadis in the body, which are Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. And where there is a junction between the Ida, Pingla, and Sushumna. That is where the chakra is formed. Okay. And what the yogi is trying to do is he is trying to take the energy up. So from the root chakra, I have not made all 7 chakras over here, but from the root chakra, the energy flows up, goes up, 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 and that is the major aim of a yogi, to take this energy up. And this is what is also called Shiv and Shakti. So Shakti is the energy which is being stored, which is actually in the sleeping mode, in the Mooladhara chakra, your root chakra. Yes. And once you awaken this, so that experience is called Kundalini awakening. You must have heard of it. I'm not going to discuss this in depth at all. So, yeah. And then the Shakti, when it wakes up, it goes up, 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 and meets the last point, which is Shiv. So if you go to Tantra Yoga, you will see that they say that Shiv and Shakti, when Shiv and Shakti meet, that is the point that the yogi aims for. Okay. So any doubts? First, I will take any doubts if you have any doubts regarding this.
What did you say? What happens when Shiva and Shakti meet?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Any doubts?
Can you just repeat what happens when Shiva and Shakti meet?
It's the point called moksha, liberation, the final goal. It's just the same thing is being described, just the terms that are used are different. Like if you go to Tantra Yoga, they will talk of Shiv and Shakti. If you go to Hatha Yoga, they will talk of Ida Pingla and the activation of Sushumna Nadi. Then if you go to Raj Yoga, they are also talking about the same thing only. Just they are not using these terms. But the main point is that the energy has to flow through the Sushumna Nadi. So when we do Ashtanga Yoga, I'll tell you what Ashtanga Yoga believes, what is the meaning of asana pranayam according to Raj Yoga. So the meaning also of the practice changes as you change the school of yoga, the meaning of the same practice, you will see it's different. So we'll discuss that in depth when we go in Raj Yoga. We will have a separate class on that. Okay, so main thing which Hatha Yoga believes, so one foundational belief of Hatha Yoga is that the breath and the mind, they influence each other. Okay, and if you control the pran, you will be able to control the mind. That is why one is pranic shakti, one is mansik shakti, manas shakti also they call. So one is pranic vital force, the other is the mental energy that you have, and both of these have a very deep influence on each other. So if you change the breath, your state of mind also changes. So the Hatha Yogi was able to observe this very deeply and hence came up with the practices of Hatha Yoga so that these energies could be balanced. And you will see most of the practices work on your pranic shakti, and the mind is also targeted as you do so. Even an asana, when you do Ashtang Yoga, Ashtang Vinyas style, there is like breath, one movement, even in Vinyas flow. So how they are working on the breath, and breath is a form of manifestation of the prana only. So how they work on the breath with the posture, and you will see after the class, your mind is also very different when you do that. So the mind is influenced by the practice of Ashtanga Vinyas, both of these things. So two major texts that are generally talked of when we talk of Ashtanga Yoga. They are Hatha Yoga Pratipika. I'm writing it down in the chat box. So Hatha Yoga Pratipika and 𝐾𝐸𝐴 Samhita. So Hatha Yoga Pratipika was written before, like, and after a few years, 𝐾𝐸𝐴 Samhita was written. So you will see when you pick up Hatha Yoga Pratipika, the number of asanas, they are different. They are less, and the practice of Shat Karma is given, like we discussed in pranayam class also, after Nadi Shodhana. It has been discussed before the practice of pranayama. If the Vata, Pitta and Kapha are not balanced, that is when you go for the practice of Shat Karma. And that is how the entire process is given. If you read Hatha Yoga Pratipika one after the other. But when you go to 𝐾𝐸𝐴 Samhita, Shat Karma is the first practice. So Shuddhikaran, purification is the first step. And after that, you go into the practice of asana. The number of asanas are also more, because as the time moved ahead, it was seen that to reach the same level of stability, now the number of asanas that a person had to perform were much more. Okay. So even though the practice remained, you will find a lot of asanas which are there in Hatha Yoga Pratipika, in 𝐾𝐸𝐴 Samhita also. The overall number of asanas increased. Then even in pranayama, there was a little bit of change in the practices. and it had more chapters in comparison to Hatha Pradipika. Okay, so let me first write down the first chapter is called Asana. Pranayama.
This you're telling of Hatha Pradipika, right?
Yeah. Asana, pranayama, which includes the practice of Shakarma. Then we have Mudra and Bandh. And last chapter we have is Nad Anusandhan. So Asana, Pranayama, Mudra and Bandh, these are spellings that I think most of you would know. Nad Anusandhan is NADAANUSAN. THANA. Nad Anusandhan. 4 chapters. So he just gave
Your voice is breaking.
okay. Yeah, so I'm back. So the fourth chapter, I was telling you a little bit about the fourth chapter. So he talks of the sound that is already there in this entire universe. And in your meditation class, you would have heard of Om also, Pranav meditation when you did. So Om is that sound. And he tells of different stages. Once you start hearing that sound, you start connecting. So the body is actually getting prepared for the fourth chapter, the part of Nadanusandhan, where now you can hear the sound which is already existing, which, you know, uh, so when two objects, like if I clap, so one hand touches the other hand and then the sound is produced, and one sound is which is already existing. It doesn't need for two objects to come in contact to create that sound. So he's talking about the latter sound where, it's already there, and how you step by step, he has given steps how you go deeper into your practice and how you experience that thing. Yeah. So I would say that once you feel you are ready, then go ahead and step by step read this text, and step by step move forward. So the 15 asanas that have been given in this text are very advanced asanas. So once you're able to master each and every one of them, that is when you go to the next step, which is pranayam. So do not rush when it comes to Hatha Pradipika, because at that point of time, the environment, the you know food, everything was in that manner that somebody could easily master the 15 asanas. The body was that way. The food that was given to the body, everything was very pure at that time. At least so the body was able to do not rush when it comes to Hatha. Even later on, that is very advanced for us. Right, go ahead and read these texts. So Hatha Pradipika has a total of 390 shlokas. Okay. I told you, Patanjali ji completed his text in 195 sutras only. The shlokas are actually easier to understand. Sutra was coded language. Book was something which could be understood. So in that time, Sanskrit was the language, and this text was written in the form of shloks. And now you will find a lot of translations also of Hatha Pradipika. So, English, Hindi both. If you're comfortable with Hindi, go for Hindi translation. It will be better for you. It is closer to Sanskrit. So Hindi is a language which is closer to Sanskrit. It came out of Sanskrit only. And if you are not comfortable with Hindi, then go ahead and you can read English commentaries. They have been translated properly, so you'll at least be able to get what, at least a little bit a sense of what they're trying to say. In Hindi, wait. Author whose translation can be read in Hindi. So I think 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐿, it's a college. They translate in both English and Hindi. So I think Bihar School of Yoga and 𝐾𝐲𝐬𝐿, both these you will find Hindi commentary also. So both English and Hindi, I think you will be able to find. So same goes for 𝐾𝐸𝐴𝐻𝑅𝑒𝑛 Samhita. So it was written by Sage 𝐾𝐸𝐴𝐻𝑅𝑒𝑛 only, as the name suggests. Sorry. And this text is in the style of a
Your voice is breaking.
I was Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying that this text is in the form of a conversation. Okay, so um, basically what happened was a king, he came to Rishi Gheran, and he asked him that, give me the knowledge of yoga. And when he transmits that knowledge, so the text that was written was Gheran Sahita. I'll write down the name of the king also. Chandakapali. Chandakapali. So we'll see it's a very giving you all of the information, but this text is more like he's asking, then the Rishi is answering, then he's asking again, what can I do for this, or how can I, attain this thing, and then he is answering that, and each and every answer that he is giving, like, is in the form of a yogic practice. So there are total of 7 chapters in this text, and Rishi Gheran, he talks of Khatta Shuddhi. It's also called a text for Saptangyo. So, Saptang means 7 limbs. So there are 7 chapters. And the concept of Ghat Shuddhi. So purification of not just the body, but the pran, the mental energy, the whole um, being, basically. The cleansing of that is given over here. So the concept of Ghat Shuddhi is given in this text. And I'll just write down the names of all the chapters. So Asana, sorry, Shatkarma, we'll start with Shatkarma. These are the 7 chapters: Shatkarma, Asana, Bandha and Mudra, Pratyahar, Pranayam, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So he, see how he changed the order, he changed the entire order also of the practices, and he starts with Shatkarma, and he has gone till Samadhi also over here. He has talked of the process of Samadhi, the process of Dhyan, how you have to do Dhyan, and he discussed all of these things in detail. So as the time moved, the Hatha Yogic text only had so much, detail and information. So he in a way gave, you know, elaborated on the entire process only. He placed bandhas and mudras first, then he gave the practice of pratyahar, and then he came to pranayama. So he changed the, see how he has changed the format also. and he has, uh, most of the pranayams in Hatha and Gheran Samhita are the same, except two pranayams. So he had given two different practices. In Hatha you will find two different practices. This is also a pretty interesting text to read. So if you go for the 𝐾𝐨𝐻𝑎𝑚 commentary, then you will it's a thin book, so you'll be able to complete it faster. If you go for Bihar School of Yoga, they have given a very long commentary on each slok, so it will take you a while to complete that. So you can just see which one you want to go for when you are reading. If your target is to complete the text, then you can go for 𝐾𝐨𝐻𝑎𝑚's commentary. And if you want to study in depth, then you can go for Bihar School of Yoga. So the next time you go for your asana class, when you come for pranayam class, so just change the intention of sitting in your class, and know that it's just one part of the process, or just a limb of the entire process that you are going to go through. So like asana is just one limb. Even in Ashtanga Yoga, it is just one limb. It's not the entire process. So don't get stuck over there. Try to understand that you're going through very deep surgery. Yeah. If I talk in physical terms, you're going for a very deep and serious surgery. And if I just like after asana practice, if I just say that, okay, now I want to achieve this asana, and that is it, that is my goal. So what I will do is in surgery form, I will just, when the doctor opened my body up to, cure the body, I will tell the doctor that no, I have to run to office. So what you do is I will go with an open bone. Okay. So don't perform the surgery. Just open up my body and then let me go. I don't have that amount of time. So this is what you will be doing to your body if you're just practicing asana, or just your main aim is to stick to pranayam, or when people experience certain things going through these practices, they get stuck over there. So they are basically abandoning the surgery in between. So don't do that. Go for the main aim, go for getting rid of all of your suffering, and keep progressing in your practice. Okay, so continuity should always be maintained. Any doubts from anyone? Any confusion? No? Okay, great. So let's meet for our pranayam class in the evening. Yeah, and continue our practices over there. Okay. So if in case you get any doubts while you're reading something or going through uh, the understanding of Hatha, then you can definitely ask those doubts in the class. So let's
I
end
was
today's.
actually reading yesterday. This we were discussing the Raj Yoga by Swami Vivekananda actually. So in that he's mentioned some points, some conditions in which one should not be practicing yoga. Hello.
Hello. Anuja ji, your voice.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe you can ask it in the pranayam class in the evening.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No problem.
Now I can hear you. See.
Network issues I can understand. I'm also in Dehradun, so when it rains, the network goes off.
Yeah. So right now I can hear you. Can ask.
No, it's fine. I think our next class will start in about 3 to 4 minutes. No
Yeah.
problem. We'll discuss it later. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So let's end today's session. So we'll chant Om one time, followed by three shantis. So let's just close the eyes. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join both the palms together and statement to be grateful for everything we have. And wrap both the palms together. Place them on the eyes and gently open up your eyes. Come back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. I will see you in the pranayam class in the evening. So bye bye everyone.
Bye. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.